Hello everyone, welcome back to the Space Squid channel. So I'm a PADI certified diver. I've dived in tropical oceans, I've dived in old World War wrecks, but I've never played Subnautica. It's always been something that's had my attention. It seems super fun. I like survival games, I like the ocean. Seems very cool, just it never happened. So with the release of Subnautica 2, I thought I would dive in and give it a go. Yeah. Before we do that, I just want to let you guys know we are super close to hitting the really awesome goal of 1,000 subscribers, which is, not a lot for YouTube, but I've been at this for like 10 years and I've not hit that, so it's gonna be really exciting when we do. So if you end up liking the video, feel free to leave a little subscribe. Your support would mean the world to me. Anyways, with all that out of the way, let's go! So when you first load into the game, you have your choice of 4 different characters. It's pretty limited right now, but as we will kind of learn as we come across this game is definitely in early access, and there's a lot of things that are kind of broken or janky or just not all finished. And this is kind of an example of that, I think, where it's just the 4 characters and you get a number of colors to pick from. Hopefully that will kind of change and evolve, maybe into full-scale customization. Not sure, but for now, we'll go with this Felix guy. He looks pretty cool. The second you choose your character, you are dying. We're not exactly told explicitly what's going on, but we are in a base underwater and the pressure and the heat are killing us. So very quickly we learn about adaptability. As someone who didn't play the first one, I'm not sure if this was in it. I don't believe it was, but essentially in this game you're able to evolve with the planet's wildlife. Starting off, we adapt to the pressure, and as someone who has dived in real life a lot, this is actually kind of cool, because it's like, yeah, things would start exploding and boiling, and things would be a problem if you're going up and down as fast as you do in this game. So it's cool that there's a little in-world explanation for why you're not, exploding a lot. You gotta touch this, frankly, kind of freaky-looking ball thing, and you really just like some resistance, and you push in there, and it's certainly something, but this allows us to survive, and we are able to enter the water. Even in this pretty desolate space, the way the light is shooting through the water is really interesting and pretty. And this works as long as it is loading. But sometimes, at least with my game, things just wouldn't load. After setting up your life pod, there's supposed to be this opening sequence in which you launch to the surface and you're flying around. And mine kind of just like had a still image of the first frame of that cutscene, and I could hear it all. And I'd have a new frame to look at for a couple seconds and hear banging around. And this did happen to me twice, so I'm not sure if it's just my hardware or what, but be warned as we're reviewing this game, early access. But despite the glitches and low frames, we make it to the surface and get our first beautiful look at the world.
Titan-class biosignature on the horizon.
From here, we dive into the water and our story begins. First, we just want to gather a whole lot of resources to kind of get out of this little life pod situation we found ourselves in. You might be tempted to just, grab a fish out of the water and eat it, but doing so is actually bad. So by taking these water slugs, we're able to just turn them into a water bottle, which is pretty cool. So we got that one done. In terms of food, we're gonna have to wait a little bit. We might have to do a little more evolving, like the thing we talked about just now. Anyways, so as we continue to explore the world and swim around, we end up gathering a lot of resources, and this, for me at least, led to a bit of a storage problem. As you can see, I kind of just had to keep putting my junk on the ground. The life pod does give you storage, and what's just lovely about it, and this game in general, is that when you are crafting something, it will automatically take resources from that storage container. I just love it when survival games do this. Games like Valheim do this, where you don't have to have it in your inventory. It can just kind of be from around your base. So that's super awesome. Big points from me for that. But as I continue to explore and do all this, I kind of ended up hitting a wall. I crafted almost everything that I could from the crafting station and wasn't really sure what to do next. And the answer ended up being that the scanner is a lot more important than I thought it was. I know this is a big doo-doo fart me moment and probably comes from just not playing the first game, but really to unlock more recipes and things, you want to be scanning like everything. At this point, I was already scanning fish and rocks and things like that. It shows up on your scanner, you know where it's at. But when you get to like wreck sites, you can scan tables and chairs and trash cans and habitat creation tools and bio labs. And that's really where I think things started to open up for me. I was a little bit confused. But yeah, so if you want some advice from me, just scan literally everything. It'll help. As I continue to explore these wreck sites and learn more a bit about the lore, I was also able to evolve and be able to eat things on the planet. So now I could just snatch things out of the air and just take a bite, which was pretty awesome, admittedly. And to touch on the lore briefly, I won't be really, because there's a whole lot of it, and it's all actually seems really cool and interesting. But I'm not very far into the game. You know, I want to get this video out for all you loyal viewers. And also, I didn't play the first one again, or the Below Zero one. And it's kind of complicated, so I won't be diving in. You got me. Dude, this game is scary sometimes. I don't know if you've been over the edge. That's something to talk about. Dude, like, okay, I don't know about you guys, but whenever I watch like video gameplay, people be like, "Whoa, it's scary." Like, I mean, big fish are scary for sure, but like just like swimming over like a drop-off point, it's like, oh, conceptually that's scary, but watching it was never really. But when you're playing it, at least for me, dude, oh my gosh, like just swimming and then suddenly the drop-off is just darkness. It was awesome. It was terrifying. It was awesome. And that really hooked me into the kind of getting into the late game, because it's very fun and chill around my little area by my life raft, where it's very shallow and kind of bright and colorful at nighttime. But getting to explore like the deep parts of the world is terrifying and also very exciting. And that definitely kept me going. Finally, after a lot of running around and scanning, I unlocked base building, and I was really excited. This is like my favorite thing probably about survival games, is getting to build your cool little base. So I started with like a tube, and then I didn't have the materials to make a hatch, so it was kind of just a tube that I couldn't get in. But I kept exploring. It was good. You know, I was getting around, and I got a little voice memo, and she said this.
If one of my species finds this message, you may be the very last human being in the universe.
And that kind of stuck with me, because I mean, dang, that's a bummer. The last person like ever, like Iron Lung with Markiplier, kind of. Not really. I don't know. It was cool. It's a cool movie. I don't know if you saw it, but it did make me realize, oh yeah, kind of the big draw of this game was the multiplayer. And solo's been fun. It's been very chill and relaxed, but I think we should give that a go, right? We're making a review here. Let's make it legit. And so I called on my good friend Oaktreegaming, who you might know from some of my other videos if you've been around the block. They're worth checking out. I think they're pretty silly. This is Oaktreegaming, the other last human alive. Once my game actually kind of stabilized, we progressed way faster than I did in the solo mode. This definitely could be just because we kind of knew what was going on and where certain things were, but also I think just because having two hands is faster than one. We gathered resources really fast, we were scanning things like crazy. It was awesome. It's also a multiplayer that I think a little bit of this game's early access-ness kind of rears its head. Usually in a hilarious way, so it's certainly not an issue from me. But going up the ladder is especially one of my favorites. He also showed me a seemingly major mechanic I just like completely skipped, which was the bio lab. There's one in the Welcome Center, so once you get it powered up with a battery, you're able to use it, and you can basically continue to mod yourself. We only really had two options available, but we were able to select both of them, which is cool. And one of them was a dash, that you just swim real quick through the water for a bit, which is great, especially when you're running away from scary things. But also the other one was that you would just always swim a little bit faster if you're kind of skimming the surface. And that's awesome to me, like encouraging you to play a certain way. Even, I don't know if you played Hogwarts Legacy, but when you kind of fly fast to the ground, you get a little extra boost. It's kind of like that. I really like games that encourage new ways to traverse rather than just kind of holding forward. You know, you're able to do different things to get better at it, and that's super cool. I was not expecting that from a silly little survival game. Pretty quickly, we established our home base, the Crevice. I won't lie to you, I don't really remember why we called it that, but it had like a meaning. It was very impactful. It was like our little crevice in this world where humanity will fight, but then it's called the Crevice, so I don't know. After getting to where I got to last time by just, you know, placing a tube, I also placed down some solar panels and a hatch so we could actually get in there and breathe, which was awesome. Continue to expand and add windows and all that, but I think let's just take a step back and let me give you an official tour of the Crevice. This is the Crevice, where you will find everything you need. Look out these windows and see, what's that? Oh yes, water and ocean. Zoe. Here you'll find our community chest with our names. Isn't that cute? You'll also find the fabricator down this kind of strangely long hallway, and over here the main living quarters. Here you will find a dining table where you can continue to look at the water, as well as take a seat with a friend or a lover.
What's up? What's this magic trick? Whoa!
We continue to explore and gather resources and upgrade, even got these little handheld propeller things that are super fun. That, once again, I noticed this with the flippers too. I feel like I didn't really notice like a huge difference in speed. Maybe that's just me. But I think it does help. You know, you continue to do this and eventually get a big freaking vehicle. Very excited for that. But we kind of hit a wall in this session of our gameplay because we weren't able to get past this creepy looking web thing because we didn't have a sonic blaster thing. So we decided just to wrap up this little review to just like swim into the dark abyss, because that sounds scary and kind of, you know, human spirit, stuff like that, I guess. But before we did that, Oaktree flew like into the stratosphere, I think, just like launched into space. So that was pretty cool. I tried to catch him, but I don't think I did.
It always does this too. Here I come, getting closer.
So after that event, we went back to the crevice and dropped off all of our important stuff, save for a couple flares and one of those little oxygen things that launch you to the surface, but also give you a little extra breath. We weren't really planning on returning from this, and I'm still not totally sure how death works with, I think you just drop some things. We didn't want to drop anything super valuable. Notably, death is hilarious in multiplayer because you kind of just Obi-Wan like out of existence. But now it is time that we descend into the dark and face humanity's horrors together as one. We descended down, crossed the drop-off point into the depths, and using flares, and oh my gosh, it got scary pretty fast. Right kind of when you pass over, oxygen gets even harder to save, interestingly. So definitely you're not supposed to be doing this. You need to, you know, have your oxygen upgrades and probably like a vehicle of some kind. But we were just really curious, you know, and what's more human than being curious and diving into the unknown? Being scared, it turns out, because wow, it got dark fast. As my flare dimmed and also my life, I reflected on all that we had done so far. You know, building the crevice, exploring, meeting new creatures, fighting new creatures, running from new creatures. Just lots of beautiful things. And I realized this is pretty freaking cool. And I'm pretty excited to do more. And I respond back on our life raft, and the weight of the fact that our souls would never leave this planet weighed on me. The fact that we were due to print ourselves over and over again and never truly escape. And I thought, man, isn't that pretty cool? That's so much time to customize my little base and get new chairs and tables and a bed. Oh, yeah. So, I kind of like it so far. Our souls were forever damned to be trapped on this planet, inescapable, much like subscribing to the Space Squid YouTube channel. I've been told. So, Subnautica 2, is it worth it? I think it kind of depends, but mostly I'm willing to say yes. I mean, there's so much hype around this game. Subnautica came out in like, I think 2014. So it definitely has a very long legacy, especially here on YouTube for being, you know, just a big kind of title that people know of. So as someone who is pretty separate from that legacy and who hasn't played any of the rest of it, but has an interest in space, in the ocean, check out literally my channel name. I like it. I think it's very fun. I'm also prone to already liking survival games, so there's definitely that bias. But I think it's very fun. There's definitely, I think if you think you're gonna get bored, I think you will. So I think it's just about knowing yourself and knowing in your heart, I think it's gonna be a fun time. In terms of solo or multiplayer, I had a great time playing solo. It was definitely a different experience, more survival, isolated, but still beautiful. Multiplayer was definitely more fun, more silly, more goofy. You know, it's really, everything is gonna be up to you, I think, which is probably not what I should say as a review channel. I feel like I should be more binary about that. So if I had to say, I would say yes, it's worth it and give it a go, but also trust your heart, you know? So if you are interested, feel free to leave a little, you know, a hate comment, subscribe, anything helps. And yeah, I just graduated college, so hopefully I'll have more videos coming out because I enjoy doing this and it's very fun. As always, thank you for watching. Feel free to check out my Fruitiger Future clothing brand if you're interested in the Fruitiger Aero aesthetics, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.